What is up, party people? Hi diddly ho diddly neighborinos, and respectful salutations to you, Bobby Baracho Brackens. Today we are back and we're doing what I promised. We are going to go over all the mythic rare cards in the Conflux set. This is the set that immediately followed Shards of Alara that we went through last time. Welcome back to this. There are a few less cards. It was a smaller set, so there's 10 mythic rares in Conflux, and that's what we're going to be covering today. Conflux set was released in early 2009, and instead of having a theme of 3 color combinations, this set focused primarily on a theme of every color of Magic, which resulted in some of the wackiest mana costs up to that date. Really, this set was iconic, so was Shards of Alara, but this one still has some staples in Modern to this very day, and some really unique spells, Bobby, so looking forward to getting into this, actually. Also, you might have to excuse my voice. I've been having some bad allergies lately. I have absolutely nothing coming through my nose right now, so I sound like Billy Joe Armstrong, and there's nothing I can really do about that, Bob. So some little fun facts while I was researching this. I don't know if this was the very first set to do this, but apparently you could get 5 card boosters of Conflux that had like a token and a land, 3 commons, an uncommon, and then the last slot wasn't even a guaranteed rare or mythic. It could be another common or uncommon, so it's just like the stupidest product I've ever heard of. Anyway, thought that was pretty interesting. So as far as the story goes, Conflux is centered around a mysterious force that's causing these 5 worlds to coalesce, come together, in what could only be described as a conflux. Also, this set was the first time in Magic that we saw basic land cycling happen, where you could trade a card out of your hand for a basic land in your deck, you know, if you got it at the wrong time and you could rather use a land, you know, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, so let's get into this, Mr. Bracken. It's not going to take too much time with this. Let's start with number 1. That is Mirror Sigil Sergeant. This costs 5 generic and a white, and it's a 4/4 with trample. Also, it's kind of a niche ability, but it's at the beginning of all your upkeeps. If you control a blue permanent, you can go ahead and copy that Sergeant. So I guess if you're playing Azorius or something, like, you can make copies of this 4/4 with trample, which is, you know, that's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. 2. Aethersworn Adjudicator. That costs 4 generic and a blue. It's a 4/4 with flying. You can pay a 1, a white, and a black, and tap to destroy a target creature or enchantment, so that's pretty cool. Also, on top of that, you can pay 2 and a blue to untap that Aethersworn Adjudicator and make it able to block. 3. Maelstrom Archangel. That's a 5/5 with flying. And this is the first one on the list to cost 1 of every single type of mana. Colored mana, that is. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you can straight up just play a card from your hand for free without paying its mana cost. So that is very, very cool. I like this one. That gets 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. 4, we got the namesake card. It's Conflux. This is a sorcery. It's going to cost you 3 generic mana and then 1 of every kind of colored mana. But it has an ability that's really, really cool. You can go through your deck, pull out a card of each color. 1 card of each color. So you can pull a red card, a white card, a black card, a green card, and a blue card and put them into your hand. So that is awesome sauce, Bob. That's cool beans. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard, Bracco. Number 5, we got Malfegor. He costs 2 generic, 2 black, and 2 red mana. He's a 6/6 with flying. And when he enters the battlefield, you have to actually discard your entire hand, and then each opponent has to sacrifice an amount of creatures equal to how many cards you discarded. So that can be pretty powerful, but you got to discard your hand, so it's kind of sketchy. You got to be careful with this one, Bob. Be careful with this one. 6, we got Child of Alara. This is another one that just costs 1 of every kind of colored mana. It's a 6/6 with trample, and when it dies, you destroy all non-land permanents and they can't be regenerated. You know what I'm talking about, Bob. Let's see it. That's right. Moving right along, we have got Apocalypse Hydra. This has got a mana cost of X, a red, and a green. It's a 0/0 before you summon it, but it comes out with X +1/+1 counters, but if it's more than 5, then you double that. This one's weird because it's like there's really no reason to pay less than 5. Let's say you pay 4, you're going to end up paying 6 mana for a 4/4. But if you pay just 1 more, 7 mana, then you get a 10/10. So way overrate. So yeah, that's how you need to be doing it out here, Bob. And it's also got this secondary ability where you can remove +1/+1 counters to ping a damage to a target. 8, we got something unique. It is Thornling. This is one of the craziest cards I've ever seen. I mean, it's got 5 activated abilities. That's got to be a world record or something, Bob. It's a 4/4, and yeah, it's got 5 activated abilities that don't require tapping and each cost 1 mana. So you get a lot of different utilities with this one depending on what's going on in the game. So it's pretty sweet, Bob. Those abilities are either you're giving it haste as soon as it comes out, you can give it trample, you can give it indestructible. Those 3 cost 1 green mana, and then for 1 generic mana, you can give it either +1/-1 till end of turn or -1/+1 till end of turn. So, you know, it's whatever you want, Brackens. Alright, number 9, this is the one you've all probably been waiting for. It is Progenitus.
Progenitus. Progenitus.
It's Progenitus. The craziest mana cost in all of Magic, pretty much 2 of each color of mana. I mean, just look at that mana cost. It is glorious. He is a 10/10 protection from everything. This was absolutely the first time that a permanent had protection from everything. I don't know if anything else since has had that. I'm not sure. But yeah, that is epic. And it also can't be milled out of your deck, because if it goes to the graveyard from anywhere, you just reveal it and put it back in your deck. So if it dies or gets milled, you put it back in your deck. So that is awesome sauce. Love you, Progenitus. Alright, last up, people. We have made it to the end. It is Nicol Bolas, Planeswalker. And like the name of the card suggests, this is the only Planeswalker in this set. There was a lot of them at the Mythic rarity in the last one. Here, Nicol is Mr. Solo Dolo. So let's check out what this one can do. It's pretty powerful. He costs 4 generic, a blue, black, and a red. Comes out with a whopping 5 loyalty points. So you can start the festivities by going +3 to destroy a target non-creature permanent. You could then go -2 to take control of a target creature, or just do the +3 again, destroy another permanent. But then you're quickly going to be able to do this juicy -9 ability, which is a whopper, Bob. That's going to let you deal 7 damage to target player. Then they have to sacrifice 7 permanents and discard 7 cards from their hand. So it really just messes them up. That's going to probably take out most of their land base, their entire game plan. It's over, Bob. It's all over but the crying. So Mr. Bolas, You are amazing. Let's see. Should we have a little dance party in honor of Mr. Nicol Bolas? Let's vote on it. All right, we have tallied up the votes, and we have a result. Love you, Bolas. All right, and that was Conflux. Thank you for checking this out. We're going to keep these pumping out. I'm really excited to go through like every Magic set. It's cool to know actually like what I'm going to be doing. Hope you're with me on this train, Bob. I think it's interesting to go through the Mythics. That's the meat and potatoes, you know. Actually, it's not the meat and potatoes. It's like the complete opposite of that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we'll see you on the next step of this journey, which is Alara Reborn, and then we'll be done with that block and moving on to another plane, Mr. Bracken. So thanks for checking this out. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tune in next time to Ron King Magic, the Verst channel on YouTube for Magic the Gathering content. Peace.